Welcome back to another lesson on intonation. This is such a fun series for me because I just love tackling this topic and finding ways that just like, aha, oh my gosh, right? So in the last lesson, we talked about predicting the next note as well as predicting the harmony that you're about to produce. Makes such a huge difference. I have an adult strings class in which I've been developing this method of teaching intonation. We've only been talking about intonation for 3, maybe 4 weeks, and I only see them once a week. And the difference has been like night and day. So if they can do it in one lesson a week, imagine what your students will be able to do if you do this with them every day. Okay, so we've got them predicting notes in unison. We've got them predicting notes in harmony, which gets them to listen to everybody. Now let's tackle predicting music that they may not be that familiar with or have never played before. So even if they don't know what something sounds like, they do know when something doesn't sound right. So we were working on Festival March by Art Scheinberg, and the second violin part is quite tricky, especially for students at this level. So it's actually trickier than the first violin part. But I still like using this piece because I want to challenge my second violins. And that's something we can talk about at some point as well. But anyway, in that part, they have some low Bs and low As. And what tends to happen with students is low notes, they tend to be lazy about the intonation for low notes, especially if there's only one note in this, like they're just going down for the one note, coming back. So they were getting these two notes out of tune. Again, I applied this prediction strategy, and that cleaned up that intonation pretty quickly, because then it brings their attention to the notes they're playing instead of they're just looking at the fingering and playing the notes mechanically. They were actually listening for, oh, what's this next note supposed to sound like? Oh, no, that doesn't sound right, right? So instead of pausing every note in that section, we just paused right before the low notes that were out of tune. Very, very, very powerful thing to do. Just get them to stop and think about what the next note should sound like. Also did this with Canon by Tallis, number 162 in All for Strings book. They're skipping from a B on the A string down to a G on the D string, and then to a C natural on the A string. So that's pretty tricky to get in tune. But if you stop and get them to predict the next note, they will do so much better. Okay, because they will be actually thinking about it, right? And not just playing it mechanically, like I said before. So that is your tip for the day. So take a piece that they're working on that's not too hard, that they can be able to think about this with. Okay, you don't want to try these things on pieces that are too difficult. So, because you want to try them on simpler pieces they're working on so that they are successful. Right? Don't bog them down with too much stuff. Anyway, so try this on a piece that they're working on. Find some note that's consistently out of tune, or a pattern of notes that are consistently out of tune, and get them to predict the next note and see what happens. If you're watching this video in the spring, know that I have my summer course coming up very soon. My summer teacher training called Teaching Strings Made Easy. That's my live online training on Zoom, where you can learn my really quick and simple method for teaching strings. Why is it quick and simple? Because I teach you to teach smarter, not harder, right? I hate saying that because I hate cliches, but it's true. You would think that something quick would give you mediocre results because you're cheating by going too fast, but that's not true. It's quick because The sequence is natural and logically leads into the next step, and that's why it's quick, and that's why it's fast, and that's why it actually produces better results. So if that's what you're looking for your string program, join me this summer for Teaching Strings Made Easy, live on Zoom. It's 3 weeks in July. Check out the dates. Or if you can't make it to the live one, you can take the self-study course, which won't be the same, but at least you'll get a good grounding in the basics of my method. And I'll support you in the self-study course with 2 Zoom calls a month, and probably I'll throw in a couple more in the summer. Either way, if you're interested and you really want to see how this works and have these skills under your belt and have this sequence under your belt, then sign up either for the live summer course, Teaching Strings Made Easy, or the Smart String Teacher Foundation. I really love how excited teachers get when they see the results they can get from their students. Like, that just makes my day. So no excuses, either come take the live course or take my self-study course, okay? Check out the links you know where.